I can already see pieces of leaves in there. I can see it dark. It's possibly moldy. So this is the air that you're breathing. Hey everyone, there isn't much maintenance you need to do to an electric vehicle, but one of the things you should look at doing is changing the cabin air filter. Now, what's the cabin air filter? It's the filter that filters the air that comes into the climate control system and ultimately into your cabin. While this is not an EV specific thing, it's one of the few things that you actually should do. So if your car starts smelling like sweat socks or just generally nasty, or it's been like a year or two, or in particular if you live on a road where you have a lot of dust that comes into the vehicle, this is something that you definitely should look at doing. Now the dealer will often charge you over $100 to do this, but you can pick up a cabin air filter on Amazon or your local car parts store, typically between $10 and $20, and changing it out is fairly simple. Now it's very vehicle specific, so I'm going to focus on the 2022 Kia Niro electric. The Kia Niro platform has a hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and an electric. I believe they're going to be all the same, so let's get into it. Like many vehicles, the filter for the Kia Niro is located on the passenger side behind the glove box. The first thing you want to do is clear out all the stuff out of your glove box, open it up, and then you're going to see two little connectors. They're little quarter turn connectors on the left hand side. So you give it a quarter turn and then maybe lift the box up just a little bit so it's not pulling against the pin, and pull it out. Now don't put it in the glove box because we're going to be tipping that down, so it's going to fall down. So put it somewhere where you're going to remember, like maybe your cup holder. Then you're going to do the same thing on the right side. Lift it up just a little bit, take the tension off of it, give it a quarter turn, work it out. It's got a little notch. And again, put it aside. Maybe remember which is which, although they could be universal. The glove box is now hanging by this little rod and this cross pin that's attached to it. I found mine was just a little bit too tight for me to get out by hand. I took a pair of needle nose pliers, pinch it down just a little bit, and then work it off. Again, you might need to pry to get behind it. Just be a little bit careful. This is not the thickest plastic. You don't want to crack this. Now that the glove box is swung away, you're going to see the cover for the filter housing, and there are two places that you need to open this up. So there's two little tabs here, and you should just be able to pinch them with your finger. And I did. It was super easy. Didn't need the pliers again. Note the orientation, so you put it back the same way. You'll notice that there are little tabs on the bottom. Now let's pinch the other side, and the whole thing just comes right off. Again, remember those little tabs on the bottom here are what goes down later. And here you will see the filter itself, and I can already tell it's pretty nasty. This is a 2022, and we are now in May 2024. I don't think this has ever been changed. I never had this car at the dealer. I can already see pieces of leaves in there. I can see it dark. It's possibly moldy. So this is the air that you're breathing. One other thing you want to note is which way the airflow goes. So as you pull it out, there should be an airflow indicator somewhere. Normally it's stamped on the side, and sure enough it says here airflow, and the way I pulled it out, it was going down. So remember that when you replace the filter, you want airflow going down. Filters are direction specific. They have better liner on the side where the airflow is coming in. So again, I can see it's dark in here. There are some leaves in here. Hopefully there's no animals building nests like we had in our Chevy Volt. I bought mine through Amazon, and it's a Mann brand. That's a pretty decent filter quality. I remember from my Volkswagen days, the Mala and Mann filters were pretty much OEM equipment. And for this, CUK 24004 is what Amazon recommended. I'm going to put a link in the description, and so you can see which one is going to be for the 2022 Niro. Obviously, you should figure out which filter is for your vehicle. Amazon has a system where you can add your car to the quote-unquote garage, and then you can see whether a part or not is compatible with your vehicle or not. Let's open it up. They don't even have an internal bag. It already looks kind of dark, which tells me maybe there's some kind of charcoal, which is a good thing, activated carbon. So again, you can see the airflow here, and if you remember, the airflow on this one was down. Some filters have a little tab on the end of them so you can easily pull them out. This one does not, because it's so easy to pull out. On our Nissan Leaf, ours had a little tab, so those typically go out, so you can easily take them, grab them, put them out. So this one you don't even have to pinch to get into place, it just slides back into place. So I'm going to put airflow going down because that's the direction of the airflow in this filter. So I'm going to rotate it and just slide it right in there. Make sure it seats all the way in. So the ends are kind of catching something. There you go. Make sure it's fully seated because we want to be able to get the cover back on properly. So you remember I said the cover was directional with the tabs down? So one of the things it has is these little wedges. And what that's going to do, it's going to go underneath the filter and lift it up so that it's properly seated in the housing. So I'm going to work these little wedges underneath the filter and then just push it into place. I have to pinch these little tabs again to get it to seat into place, kind of worked it into place, kind of wiggle a little bit to make sure it's seated correctly. Yeah, it's nice and snug. So now the filter is seated the way it should be. Reassembly of the glove box is just the reverse. Lift up the glove box itself, slide this little tab back over it, push it into place. It went right in there, but if necessary you can take some needle nose pliers, compress this, or put them around, but on mine it just snapped right back into place. The last thing we have to do is put these little quarter turn connectors back in. So you can see they have these little tabs that line up with these. So it's going to go in like this and twist back into place. But we got to lift it up in order to do that. Now my hand's going to get in the way, but again, you put this in so that the tabs fit into those holes. Lift it up, turn it clockwise until it snaps, and now it prevents the glove box from coming down further. So other side, again, lift up the glove box just a little bit, line up these little tabs so that they snap through the side, give it a quarter turn clockwise, hear a little click at the end, and now the glove box is secure. The car's starting to smell like sweat socks. This is probably the reason. Super cheap. I think I got mine for less than 10 bucks, but I'd say $10 to $20 depending on what vehicle. Super easy to change out. Do it. It's worth doing. Particularly now in the summer, you don't have an excuse. Do it on a nice day. No tools required except maybe the needle nose pliers to pinch that little cross connector. One other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the directions for this and I'm going to stick them in the glove box so that next time I go to change it, I don't have to go looking for it. Now for me, it's already in my Amazon profile, but this way I can find the model number, buy it again, not have to go searching for it and possibly end up with the wrong one. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.